Okay, this is my review of Jak and Daxter for Precursor Legacy. Basically, if you cannot take both positivity and negativity about this game, and are a fanboy of either side, please get out. Just go. Okay, now that's over with. On to the review. The story, it is a generic story of a simple, oh, we have to go across that on a vast journey. Need to get something undone. But it does have a unique twist, which if you haven't played the game, I won't spoil for you. Yes, I will. Because it's kind of important to spoil it. Just but it is a good story. Not the best, but definitely a step up from the standard stories of your Mario games. So the only problem I can find with the story is they never convey. They just do convenient bullshit that Mario does. As with Bowser, heck, even Bowser doesn't do that anymore. He hasn't done it since Super Mario 64. Of, oh, I appear, now I can easily get away. Whoa. That's one problem. The fact that they make it look like Misty Island is the base of their operations, when in fact the base of their operations is over where the Yellow Sage lives. The fact that they make it seem like, oh, they kidnapped the Blue Sage first, then the Red Sage, then the Yellow Sage, even though it would make sense to have captured the Yellow Sage first. Or maybe they decided no clear message is guessed on what order they capture the stages, so you're left to think they capture them one by one in the way that it's very confusing, because they couldn't have had a little more detail would have helped, but it's not like completely bad. It's at least the story's there. It serves its purpose. It's got some very unique twists, and it's pretty good overall. At least this game has a story, unlike Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, where that game didn't even try. Yeah. Gameplay. Oh wait, before I end off story, 7.5 out of 10 for the story. Right. Note the 7.5 out of 10 and does not apply to my rating scale outline video. It is just the rating scale outline, this video that showed what each of those numbers represent, is for the final score. Okay. Because if I was to do an outline for each section of a story of this of 7.5 equals this in my mind, we'd have 6 or 10 videos for 10 different categories. I did the outline because in the way I did it, because it can be used for games and movies, because I didn't say because you can easily swap in things there. For example, swap in the name, the licensed game to licensed movie from before the 90s. these are 80s or during those times. Steel and Catwoman are just reverse it a little bit. Moving on. Gameplay. It's pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good. Only reason I'd say it's the only problem is that the health system is total bullshit. Because it's basic. The health system, you have 3 hits like in Super Mario Galaxy, but unlike in Super Mario Galaxy, where you can easily find one collectible and reheal your health, Jack decides you have to collect 50 of them. Yeah, might as well not even be there. Or they should just have the big green eco clusters. Not as rare as they are in the game, but not as numerous as the green eco. That would make it more, still keep the difficulty level a little bit higher than what it would be if every green eco piece healed you. You like how every coin healed you in Mario. But it wouldn't make it seem unfair. Like, oh, you take one hit, you take 2 hits, there's no way you're gonna be able to fix that. You're screwed. But other than that, the rest of the gameplay is pretty good. The only other problem I'd say is red eco serving very little purpose and being very shallow. And the fact is, yellow eco is called Fireball, but yet when red eco seems fire based as well, and when you ram into a wooden thing using the red eco while doing a dash, it lights the thing on fire. So what's the point? Come on, you could have come up with something else that wasn't fire related. That's just freaking lazy. But other than that, gameplay, 7 out of 10. The controls. Okay, I'm gonna say it. These controls are garbage. They're garbage. They're not as bad as Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Oh, God, no. Not as bad as that. But, my God. Odd. I've never had... In Super Mario Galaxy, see, the jumping and then jumping, the double jumping, and then using the spin jump was only ever to save my life when I mistimed something. Thing because I was in a rush and I was like, you know what, screw timing my stuff properly and taking my time. I got an extra jump. I can save my skin. I only ever did it like that. Or to cheat the system. I never thought I'd have to do that in Jak 2 just to Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, just to save my life from the most basic and mundane platforming. My God. Odd. He cannot jump for the life of him. And even his long jump. He rolls a little bit before he does the long jump. So, depending on how big the platform you are on is, you're going to have to have enough space to cover that roll distance, then, and still have him be on platform, or for him to finally do the long jump. So it's going to be enough distance to do this roll, and then boom, he does the jump. Ugh. It's not unplayable, but it's far. I would rather give me Super Mario Galaxy's controls, Sly Cooper's from the first game's controls. Heck, I'll even take. Heck, well, hold on. Sonic's doesn't have bad controls from Sonic Adventure 1, or heck, even 2. Heck, 2 I think even has some improvements. But moving on, yeah, those are better control. Those are games with better control. Well, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is the only game that I can think of off the top of my head right now that has worse control than this Pac-Man World 2, ooh, while being somewhat worse, at least his jumping, it's more so the platforms that are unstable or so, or the fact that the game is a little bit harder. Or he's Pac-Man slippery in that game. Uh, but at least he could get some distance. I can feel safe in the most mundane circumstances. It's not that bad. And I feel I can I can put these two games in the same control argument. Only I think Pac-Man's jumping is a little too good. I think he gets a little too much distance, a little too high. Jack, he is the opposite. He doesn't get enough distance. He doesn't get enough height. He barely makes every. The amount of times you're going to be pulling yourself up off of a ledge in Jack is pretty pathetic. And since a platforming game, you shouldn't have to do that every time you make a jump. You should be doing that at maybe a couple of times because you timed it. No, most of the time, you have to make it perfectly, or else you're pulling yourself up. And I know that can happen in other games, but they give you a little more leeway. Wait, it doesn't have to be perfect for you to land on the goddamn platform. Perfect puts you perfectly center in the platform. Okay just puts you on the ledge of it. Not in this game. Perfect puts you on the ledge, and okay gets you hanging off the edge of it. After a triple jump, I might add. So, controls 6.5 out of 10. Music. What can I say? Hey, about the Jack series. It's music. It's pretty solid. Here, I'll let you take a listen to it. But I will say that in the current market, or the market that it came out in, it was kind of stale because we still had Donkey. Because here, let you have a listen to. Yeah, that was a little more dynamic than Jack's music, but let's take a look at 64. Donkey Kong 64, the last.
The Bay Area's first name in Chevrolet is redefining the word easy. Shop, click, and drive. It doesn't get any easier than this. Do all your car shopping online and at your convenience. Did I say easy? Shop, click, and drive today at Farmer Chevy Tampa.
Basically, it's got that good beat going and more uniqueness, but it still fits into the more jungle-based, a tropical-based music, which is okay and pretty good, but it lacks energy. The Jack games were meant. This game was meant to replace Crash Bandicoot and still invoke a similar theme, at least the first game, because it had the similar jungle, go island, style music. And Crash was based on Sonic and Donkey Kong. They wanted the character's movement to be similar to Sonic, only in a 3D environment. But they wanted the themes, like the design themes, the music theme, the enemy designs, character designs, level design, all that. They want all that design to invoke more of a Donkey Kong tropical theme mixed in with the premise of Sonic, animal batting crazy scientist. And that energy is just not there. It just doesn't have the energetic music that much. But the music isn't bad, and it does have that tropical taste, and it's really good. So I will give it a 7 out of 10. And graphics. Here, if you need to see how good the graphics are, take a look.
I have spent my life searching for the answers that my father and my father's fathers failed to find. Who were the Precursors? Why did they create the vast monoliths that litter our planet? How did they harness eco, the life energy of the world? What was their purpose? And why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of Green Eco, one of the wisest men on the planet. So it seems the answer begins not with careful research or sensible thinking. Nay, as with many of fate's mysteries, it begins with but a small act of disobedience.
Hey! Jack, old green stuff told us not to come here.
Continue your search for artifacts in Nico. If the locals possess precursor items, you know what to do.
Deal harshly with anybody who strays from the village. We will attack it in due time.
What are we doing here anyway, Jack? This place gives me the creeps. Huh? Oh, stupid precursor junk. Eek! What is that dark ooze? It sure don't look friendly. The sage yaps on about the precursors that built this place all the time. Where did they go? Why did they build this crud? Now, I like precursor orbs and power cells as much as the next guy. But if you ask me, they must have been real losers. Wow! How did you do that? Jack, I think we're in trouble! Man, that stung! I told you we shouldn't have come here, and you listened! What? Okay. I'm fine.
What in green tarnation do you two want?
I was...
Don't tell me! Instead of heeding my wisdom, the two of you went mucking around in the only place that I told you not to go! Misty Island!
That's right! And then...
And, Daxter, you finally took a much-needed bath, but in a bathtub filled with dark eco.
Look, old man! Are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna help me out of this mess?
I'm gonna keep yapping, because in my professional opinion, the change is an improvement. And besides, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
What?
There's only one person who has studied Dark Eco long enough to have a chance at returning you to your previous form. Carl Acheron, the Sage. But he lives far to the north. Far, far to the north. Nobody has spoken to him in ages. I would teleport you there, but I can't do that either. None of the three sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while. The only other way north is by foot through the Fire Canyon, but its volcanic soil is hot enough to melt precursor metal. You can't just walk through it.
But you could fly over it, if you had a zoomer equipped with a heat shield. I just happen to be working on such a thing at this very moment. All I would need is 20 power cells to give it enough energy to withstand the canyon's heat. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Yes, Kira, that might work. But where are a boy and a half going to get 20 power cells?
From the villagers. Most of them have a power cell or two stashed away somewhere. And even if they aren't willing to just give them away, greasing their palms with a few precursor orbs should do the trick. And I bet there are even more of them out in the wilds just waiting for some brave adventurer to find.
Well, we've got the brave adventurer at least.
Brave adventurer? You two couldn't find your way out of the village without training. Before you do anything else, you better go through the warp gate and get some practice on Geyser Rock.
We won't find any more of that dark gooey eco stuff, will we? Cause I'd hate to fall in again and turn into you.
Get in there before I turn you both into ferns.
This device is a communicator. With it, my father and I can give you advice at any time during your quest. These floating egg-shaped things are precursor orbs. Collect enough of them, and some of the villagers will give you a power cell in exchange. This is a power cell, the most important precursor artifact you can find. You need to collect 20 of these so I can power the heat shield for your A-Grav zoomer. Hey, you found one of my scout flies. I sent 7 of them to each area to look for power cells, but the lurkers must have captured them all. Wow! That last scout fly had a power cell. I'll bet if you collect all 7 in each area, you can find even more power cells.
That's Blue Eco, which contains the energy of motion. Blue Eco allows you to run fast, break boxes, and even activate some precursor artifacts when you get near them. Notice how each Blue Eco cluster you pick up increases the time you can use its power. This is a precursor door. It can only be opened by approaching the door while channeling Blue Eco through your body.
There we go. Now you see. They look awesome, especially for a game that came out on the PS2 that was open world. Every level was connected with no loading times or very few loading times. So 8.5 out of 10. Now the characters. There are some pretty great characters like Ak and Kira. Heck, the blue sage is awesome. Yellow sage too. But then there are some forgettable ones. Ones like the red sage. Or, well, not the red sage. Yeah, he's not bad. It's just plain. The villagers and every other NPC you're going to encounter, they have their own unique twist, but nothing other than a unique twist, a little quirk to make them stand out. They're not fully fleshed out, but they're memorable at least. Heck, even the red sage is somewhat memorable, just not like, he doesn't stand out compared to the other sages. He's just a ho 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 ho. The other two, one sounds like a complete techno geek, and the other sounds like a geek. Like he's somehow like he's the hillbilly that you would not expect to be smart, and that is freaking awesome and unique. But then you have characters like Samos and Daxter, who, while good, they're only good in doses. When Samos starts to do the first mission Samos has for you, where he gives you a power cell for doing chores for him, even though he's the one who's saying you should go get power cells to go, do this mission, the main story, he shouldn't, if he has power cells, he should be giving them to you for free. So, and then also, he shouldn't be criticizing Jack. I'll give him the criticizing Daxter, but Jack? What did Jack do? And Daxter acts like a complete jerkwad at times, but they do have a lot of great moments. They just need to be toned down and used correctly. Kind of like Daxter asking Kira, what about him when it comes to the Zoomer? We're blowing up. You care more about that hunk of junk than me? What the heck? Come on! Now that was a good scene. It's just, there are some other scenes that it's like, oh god, you do not know how to use a character like Daxter, do you? But for the most part, the game's cast is pretty solid, and they do use Samos and Daxter effectively. So, 7 out of 10. And now, my final score is a 7.3 out of 10. Basically giving the game a buy it at it's worth $20 to $30. This game is worth $20 to $30, and I would say it's a C- in my game collection. It's good, but nothing special. There are probably plenty of games, platforming games, that are better than this. But it's still a great game, and if you see it, I would still recommend getting it. And I'm just telling you that there are probably going to be games that are better than it. And I'm not telling you not to get it. I'm just telling you that it's not going to be a top tier, but it's still a good platforming game. Catch you next time.